Walk into any gas station in America, pump 87 octane regular, and assume you're good. Wrong. Some stations sell fuel that meets the absolute legal minimum, while others add ingredients that keep your engine clean for 200,000 miles. The difference? About $2,000 in repairs you'll pay without knowing why. Here's the truth about 10 stations that are slowly destroying your engine, and the real science behind why it happens. Number 1 will shock you. Number 10, Murphy USA. You see them right outside Walmart with the cheapest prices in town and the fastest fill-up. But here's what nobody tells you about Murphy's business model. They built their entire company on selling fuel for 5 to 10 cents less than everyone else. When you cut prices that aggressively, something has to give. That something is called detergent additives. Federal law says gasoline needs a minimum amount of cleaning chemicals. Murphy meets that minimum, but barely. Modern cars have fuel injectors the width of a human hair. They need triple the protection old carbureted engines needed. Run Murphy gas for 6 months and you won't notice anything. Run it for 3 years and your mechanic will. Rough idle at red lights, hesitation when you accelerate onto the highway. Fuel economy that somehow dropped from 28 miles per gallon to 24 miles per gallon without you realizing. The real nightmare happened in May 2018 in San Antonio, Texas. Dozens of drivers filled up at Murphy stations, and before they even left the parking lot, engines started coughing. Investigators found water contaminated the underground tanks. That does $800 to $1,500 in damage by rusting your fuel pump and clogging injectors in one fill-up. Number 9, Pilot Flying J. These truck stops look incredibly professional with clean facilities and organized stores. Truckers trust them completely. But here's what car drivers miss. Pilot Flying J was designed for 18-wheelers, and those big rigs don't buy gasoline. They pump diesel fuel instead. Why does this matter? Because gasoline has a shelf life. When fuel sits in underground tanks for 30 to 45 days, chemistry works against you. Oxidation breaks down the hydrocarbons. Ethanol absorbs moisture from humid air. Sediment gets stirred up when new fuel arrives. When you pump that degraded fuel, your engine pays the price. Cars regularly fueled at Pilot Flying J need fuel pump replacements at 90,000 miles instead of the normal 150,000 miles. Some engines run hot for no reason. Random misfires happen. Check engine lights come and go. Then there's the company's history. In 2014, Pilot Flying J paid $92 million to the federal government and $85 million to trucking companies for a massive fraud scandal. That wasn't about fuel quality, but it shows a pattern of cutting corners when nobody's watching. Number 8, Circle K. That bright red logo is everywhere with over 12,000 locations worldwide. You'd think size equals quality control. You'd be wrong. Here's Circle K's dirty secret. They don't make their own gasoline. They buy from whoever offers the cheapest price that week. Your engine can't handle that inconsistency. Modern cars have computers that adjust to fuel quality. But when quality swings wildly tank to tank, the computer can't compensate. You end up with carbon deposits on intake valves, sticky fuel injectors, and combustion that's never quite right. The water contamination stories keep coming. In August 2022 in El Paso, inspectors found water in the fuel and issued a $1,500 fine. Then December 2024 in Tallahassee, where customers reported stalling and inspectors discovered water in the tanks. Most recently, January 2025 in Charleston, where water-contaminated diesel led to a lawsuit for engine damage. Water doesn't just appear randomly. It happens when maintenance is sloppy, when tank caps aren't sealed properly, when inspection schedules get ignored. One bad fill-up with water costs $1,200 in fuel pump and injector repairs. Number 7, Speedway. Speedway operates over 3,000 locations with clean stores and modern pumps that look trustworthy. But appearance and reality are different things. Speedway isn't top-tier certified, and that matters more than you think. Normal gasoline has detergent additives that clean your engine while you drive. Federal law requires a minimum amount. Top-tier certification requires 3 times more than that minimum. Those extra additives prevent carbon buildup on intake valves, keep fuel injectors clean, and stop combustion chamber deposits. Speedway gas has the legal minimum, nothing more. But 75% of cars built after 2015 have direct injection engines that spray fuel directly into the combustion chamber. These engines are 5 times more sensitive to fuel quality than older designs. Run minimum detergent fuel for 50,000 miles in a direct injection engine, and you'll see carbon buildup that reduces power by 8 to 12%. Your turbocharged engine that used to feel quick now feels normal. You don't realize performance disappeared because it happened gradually. Speedway also buys from mixed suppliers, so quality varies location to location. Then in 2020, after heavy rains, some Speedway stations were caught selling water-contaminated fuel. Drivers filled up, drove 2 miles, and engines sputtered or died completely. Number 6, 7-Eleven. Everyone knows 7-Eleven for convenience and 24/7 access, but their gasoline strategy is fundamentally broken. They don't refine fuel. They're a convenience store company that happens to sell gasoline, so they buy from whoever offers the cheapest supply contract that month. Station A might have decent fuel from Shell's distributor. Station B, 10 miles away, could have bargain basement fuel from an independent supplier. There's zero consistency across the chain. Your engine suffers from that chaos. One tank has good detergents and your fuel system gets clean. Next tank has minimal detergents and carbon starts forming. State inspection reports tell the story. Several 7-Eleven locations have been flagged for ethanol content above 10% in regular gas. Federal law allows up to 10% ethanol in standard fuel. Some 7-Eleven tanks tested at 12% to 15%, and that extra ethanol is corrosive to fuel system components. At 10% ethanol, modern fuel systems handle it fine. At 15%, rubber seals start degrading and metal parts corrode faster. Fuel economy drops 3 to 5% because ethanol has less energy than pure gasoline. Plus, 7-Eleven isn't top-tier certified. Lower detergent levels mean carbon accumulates on your intake valves and injectors over time. Number 5, ARCO. ARCO has been known as the cheap gas for decades. There's a reason those prices are always lowest on the block. For years, ARCO wasn't top-tier certified. Recently, some ARCO stations in California earned that certification, but it's not universal. The deeper problem is infrastructure. Many ARCO stations are in low-traffic areas where they pump 500 gallons a day instead of 5,000 gallons. When fuel sits underground that long, it gets old. Gasoline starts degrading after 30 days. Light hydrocarbons evaporate. Heavier molecules oxidize and form gum and varnish. That old fuel carries contamination straight into your engine. Mechanics see a pattern with cars running mostly ARCO. Clogged fuel injectors at 60,000 miles instead of 100,000 miles. Carbon-coated intake valves and gummed-up fuel filters that should have lasted twice as long. Your car feels sluggish on acceleration and idles rough at stoplights. Modern engines have tolerances measured in thousandths of an inch. They need clean fuel. ARCO meets the legal standard from 1995, but your 2022 turbocharged engine needs protection standards that didn't exist back then. 4. BP. That green and yellow logo is recognized in 80 countries as a global brand with professional image. But here's the twist that surprises people. BP isn't consistently top-tier certified in the United States. Some BP stations are certified while others aren't. When detergent levels just meet legal minimums, your engine pays the price over time. Carbon deposits accumulate on intake valves. Fuel injectors don't spray fuel in the perfect mist pattern they were designed for. Combustion efficiency drops 4 to 6% without you noticing. Cars driven mostly in stop-and-go city traffic get hit hardest. Short trips mean your engine never fully warms up. When combustion temperatures stay low, carbon forms faster. That's why your city MPG dropped from 24 to 21, and you can't figure out why. Independent fuel testing labs have found BP gasoline with inconsistent ethanol content. One batch tests at 9.8% ethanol, while the next batch hits 10.7%. Your engine's computer tries to adjust, but those swings cause rough running and poor fuel trim. Here's the math nobody talks about. You drive 15,000 miles per year at 28 miles per gallon, that's about 536 gallons annually. If BP saves you 5 cents per gallon, you save $27 a year. A single fuel system cleaning costs $350 to $500, so one early cleaning wipes out 15 years of savings. Number 3, CITGO. CITGO stations look professional with nationwide coverage and competitive pricing, but the fuel quality complaints tell a different story. CITGO has one of the highest rates of customer complaints about fuel-related engine problems in America. The core issue is inconsistent ethanol blending. Federal regulations allow up to 10% ethanol in regular gasoline. Many CITGO samples test well above that limit, with some stations hitting 12%, 13%, even 15% ethanol. That's not a small problem. Ethanol is hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water from humidity in the air. When ethanol content goes above 10%, it starts pulling moisture into your fuel tank. Water and gasoline don't mix, they separate into layers. But ethanol also corrodes fuel system components. It attacks rubber seals and gaskets, degrades certain plastics, and eats away at metal parts. Modern cars are built to handle 10% ethanol, but they're not built for 15%. State fuel testing has found elevated sediment levels in underground tanks at multiple CITGO locations. That sediment clogs your fuel filter quickly, sometimes in as little as 5,000 miles instead of the normal 30,000 miles. CITGO also isn't top-tier certified, so low detergent levels mean carbon accumulation on valves and pistons that steals power and efficiency. Number 2, Sunoco. The name Sunoco sounds premium with racing fuel heritage and high-octane options. You'd assume quality is guaranteed. That assumption could be expensive. Sunoco has a documented history of inconsistent fuel quality across different regions. Their problem is ethanol content that swings unpredictably. One tank tests at 9% ethanol, which is perfectly fine. Next delivery tests at 13%, which is over the legal limit. When ethanol levels swing like that, rubber fuel lines swell and metal parts corrode faster than your fuel system was designed to handle. Mechanics report specific symptoms from cars running mostly Sunoco. Hesitation under acceleration, where the car seems to think before responding. Rough idle at stoplights where you feel vibration through the steering wheel. Occasional stalling when coming to a stop where the engine dies for no clear reason. Independent testing in Pennsylvania, New York, and Ohio found higher than normal sediment in underground tanks at multiple Sunoco locations. That sediment and water shortens fuel pump life dramatically, with pumps designed to last 150,000 miles failing at 80,000 to 90,000 miles instead. Sunoco isn't fully top-tier certified everywhere. Over 50,000 miles, carbon deposits reduce power and lower fuel efficiency until the savings you thought you were getting disappear into repair bills. Number 1, Love's. Walk into any Love's travel stop and you'll see impressive facilities with clean showers for truckers, full restaurants, and massive fuel islands. It all looks premium and professional. But there's a fundamental design flaw if you're driving a regular car. Love's was built for diesel customers, the 18-wheelers that burn diesel fuel exclusively. That diesel side of the business is constantly busy with tankers delivering daily and pumps running 24/7, so fuel turns over every few days. The gasoline side? Completely different story. When gasoline sits in underground storage tanks for weeks at a time, organic chemistry takes over. Oxidation breaks down fuel molecules. Phase separation occurs when ethanol absorbs moisture and separates from gasoline. Sediment settles at the bottom and gets stirred up when fresh fuel finally arrives. That degraded fuel causes specific problems. Early fuel pump wear, with pumps failing at 80,000 miles instead of 140,000 miles. Rough-running engines with misfires, hesitation, and poor throttle response. Reduced fuel economy with 3 to 5 miles per gallon loss from stale fuel burning less efficiently. Love's fuel also lags in detergent additives. Modern engines have fuel injectors with 6 spray holes each, every hole measuring 0.15 millimeters, which is thinner than 2 human hairs. Even microscopic carbon deposits can partially clog those holes and destroy the spray pattern. The real reason plus what to do now. Notice the pattern. It's not about evil companies. It's about business models that prioritize low prices over fuel quality. Top-tier fuel costs refiners an extra 2 to 3 cents per gallon because of additional detergent packages. Stations selling cheap gas can't afford it and still profit on razor-thin margins. So they buy minimum spec fuel. Legal? Yes. Good for your engine? Not even close. Your engine represents $8,000 to $18,000 in replacement value. Feeding it bargain fuel to save $3 per tank is like buying discount oil to save $5 on an oil change. These stations won't damage your engine in one fill-up, but use them for 2 to 3 years, and you'll wonder why performance dropped and why you need fuel system cleaning at 65,000 miles instead of 100,000 miles. Comment your car's make and model below. I'll tell you if it has a direct injection engine that's extra sensitive to fuel quality. Hit subscribe for the synthetic oil scam breakdown next. Pinned comment has the top-tier station checker for your area.